Alright guys, welcome back to another 17th Annual Adventure video. Today it is time to update our tier list. We're now going to be doing the 3rd anniversary edition. Honestly, I think I want to change a lot here because I think one thing I've noticed, especially towards Escanor, is a lot of the unique characters, especially how much the game has changed, right? Especially in the course of the year. At the start, when we first made our tier list, unique characters are actually pretty good. If you look at the old tier list, put it on screen now, actually, so you can see how far the game has come. Unique characters, some of them were like the SS tier, basically. Some of them were actually the best characters in the game, especially for supports, and you get them a lot easier. Where now, you just have access to so much legendary characters. I feel like you just don't need to use any of the uniques, and even right now the only time you really use unique characters is in the Night boss, where you have to meet a certain condition. But even then, they're now starting to become a problem. Our accounts again so much crazy stats that we're now dealing too much damage, and it's very noticeable now with like the one Escanor, to where my unique characters, even though I have to bring them, are still missing all the time because our actual legendaries are getting to such high levels now, especially since they've actually increased like the affinity towards like level 100 now, or yeah, level 100 affinity is like, yo, uniques cannot keep up now. So honestly, I think the first change we're going to do is just move them all down. Yeah, sure, if you have to use them for like 1 or 2 conditions for like a natural night boss, fair enough. If you're new, you still might use some of the... You know what? Let's just move them all down. What we'll probably do actually is keep Wilo in B tier, just because he has immortality. And I do know there are a few strats where you just bring the characters like that can have immortality just so you can reflect with Elizabeth and like some Night bosses. So for that reason, he's probably like the only usable one. And like I said, you can still use him at level 0, level 1 if you're a new player. Like there are like they've been replaced, right? The only other usable one a little bit was like Gilfrost, like back in the day, but you know, like the new Elizabeth, or I say new, she's quite old now actually, but you have this Elizabeth, so there's no reason to use her. We now have, like, everyone's just been replaced, right? Like, we are getting to the point where even now legendaries are starting to have certain conditions. Like, you're noticing the new Mediodas, this one here, and also Valenti, they're getting like new debuffs that count for like shock and poison, acid and bleed. So they are just slowly getting replaced to where you can't just use them anymore. Also, once again, legendaries have just gotten so much more value. So even though I still don't like these characters, like these 3 right here, still gonna move them up just because they are actually still more usable. So, you know, it makes the tier list look a little better, right? Just not all scattered around. Someone, though, messaged me on the game, actually, because you can send messages now. Someone said, yo, move Gila up. So, for that, we'll move her up. In terms of the A tier, do we want to do any changes? I think I'm kind of okay with it a little bit. Maybe once again, you can argue that actual, you know, immortality characters drawn the move up because that strategy with Elizabeth, like we mentioned early on. But definitely undervalued, this Melascula. I noticed a few people started using her. We've now duped her out a little bit. She's still not crazy, still not the biggest fan of her ultimate a little bit. But we're noticing right now the cooldown reduction is pretty decent. I know as well, you get some little bit of HP here, which once again, we're starting to dupe her out a little bit now. So she's actually healing. And then also this Veil buff is actually still pretty good, I think. People are using, I noticed in the actual, was it Avin boss battle? She was one of the go-to strategies I think people have been using. If we check the ranking right now. And if people are actually using her, right, then that's saying something a lot for the character. Not right here. There she is there. So, like, you know what? People are using her, right? You are giving, I think, what was it? Cooldown reduction on the actual... You are resetting cooldowns quite a lot on the dairy area from the looks of it. She has immortality as well, so it works with Elizabeth. And she's also healing and giving Veil buffs so she can tank a bit more. I think it's kind of the gimmick here. So, yeah, she'll move up. Elaine, though, we're probably going to move down, man. I'm not going to lie. We had hoped that, like, green characters, we'll get more green characters, but... the 20% attack buff is only relevant if you look at the actual like tier list right here. Is the the actual swordsman Meliodas, who he's got melee, he's got transcendent melee, right? You're like, there's no reason to use this Elaine. In terms of fairies as well, it only applies towards King, and once again, he's a sin character, so you'd never actually use that 20% attack buff. I mean, I guess you can stack the two because they are stackable, but you're just not going to do it, right? And now, do I feel like moving her down? She's still slightly better than the others. I think we just got to move some characters up, if anything. Yeah, she's still better than all these characters. We'll leave her there. She's probably towards the bottom, though. A huge mistake. I did say for this Meliodas, right? Like, I used him at 5-star when he first came out, and like, he was very impressive. I'm like, right, this character's doing quite a lot at 5-star, but obviously I didn't get the chance to fully dupe him out, and we've noticed already, especially towards PvP, people would argue right now, this character might be up here. I think in terms of DPS, right? Especially in PvP, because right now, Goddess Elizabeth is Like, perk melee ults, he's dead. Like, he's just doing nothing, right? So, like, the 1 HP that you can do, and a lot of people are noticing it, he's, like, very, very, like, good in terms of surviving and also damage. And like I said, I noticed it early on. I think in this tier, it's still very, very good. It's not really order, but if you want to class it as, like, him being, like, the best one in this set of characters, you could probably argue that a little bit. But, yeah, he's definitely, we undervalued him. Do I mean done Escanor? I don't... How do I like him? I don't know if I like him. Because he's only got 1 AoE skill. Like, his actual, like, I said before, he feel like he should have been a festival, which probably a good thing he wasn't, because then, I mean, the one came out soon afterwards, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. But, like, he's missing something. He's got a good single target skill that resets his cooldowns, and then it can make him ult fast a little bit. But I feel like you just rather use King. And even Valenti, I think, is a bit more valuable, because she's got double AoE too. But does he deserve to be in here with the other characters? I'm even finding Derriere more usable a little bit too. I think we might have to move her up. Like, I'm actually finding myself like, yo, I need a tank. I got the immortality. I got the damage as well. She is like the better and pretty much is the best character for base defense. I do wonder if there's some other additions in it. We'll go through these characters later on. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Let me know what you think of Escanor, man. I feel like I want to like him because Escanor, he's got core artwork. He's one of the better designs in the game. But I can't lie and say, like, his damage is not, like, crazy. Even now that I have him at True Awakening. He probably is better than everyone here. You could argue he probably deserves to be in us tier. But I don't think, like, he's up there with the boys, you know? Like right here, all these characters, I'm using everyone in this tier list. We'll move from someone else down in a second. I'm just not using Escanor unless it's obviously specifically towards Tower Trials, where I can only use light-type characters. But even then, he's getting outshined by even, like, someone Valenti who's, like, a low deep level. Nah, he's better than Valenti, I think. Even I want to do this actually. Nah, not yet. The ultimate I think is a little bit stinky. But yeah, we'll just keep it here. Why not? Escanor, we have to move down though. He has yeah, forward off, man. I think we should have moved him down for it last time, but it has to be done now. The kit is still good, and honestly, guys, I mean, we said it before. The Transcendence Meliodas, granted, he is in the SS because of that actual passive he gets for the sins on the team, right? So we have to wait and see how Escanor does it. But like, the stats are crazy, the buffs are crazy. When we get Transcendence Escanor, it's gonna be a different character. Time Advantage in the ultimate is insane already, right? Like, he was the best character when he came out. When he gets updated stats and some of the best stats in the game, he's gonna be jumping up towards the SS, maybe even towards the King and Queen a little bit if he gets like a crazy buff. We might have to be belly down, you know? Look, I get it. If you're a new player and you get him and you somehow don't have the other one leveled up, I mean, you can use both together anyway. They both are different colors. So you are using the other Tower Trials. But I'm just thinking, yo, I've never used this Lost Flame Meliodas. Only like when there was like specifically in Tower Trials where I have to bring a red character. Even then, you have to bring a single target character. Boss fights, red characters. You Marlin now, like, yeah, you know what, I'm moving him down. He's literally just Galan, basically, for blues. You're just never going to use him. Lilia. I think we might move down as... Nah, because she's got used a little bit, but when we get towards draw, right, do you actually want to use Lilia in the game? I don't know if you ever will now. Maybe just right now because she's, like, more duped out, but you get more value with draw. Yeah, she's probably going next to, like, Elaine, not that it was in order. All right, so we've now changed some of the tiers. I mean, look, we'll put it up already because, like, it's pretty obvious where the one's going, right? He's the best character in the game. I do want to do 2 separate tiers, though. Let me know what you lot think about this one because I still feel like we need to distinguish the SS with, like, the characters slightly above it. So, like, obviously, Merlin and Pitchback Melee, I don't want to put them in the same tier as, like, Derriere or, like, Esterosa. If anything, true say, we can probably put up God Elizabeth because she's actually broken the game. They've just nerfed her since, or they've nerfed Escanor, so she can't do her strategies of breaking the, like, multipliers when it comes towards, obviously, not a boss, but she's literally made PvP insane. The reason why Escanor is also so good in PvP because Escanor bypasses her. She's still, like, just getting a little bit extra scores in any of the contents where it's like a high score, like Advent boss battle. You're seeing once again people are now bringing strategies of bringing immortality characters to make it so you can apply the reflect towards those to where you can even get even more score when you get some crazy stats. In terms of everyone else, do you want to move anyone up? I think maybe Jericho. I think just the fact that she is... Nah, we'll put Transcendent up. That buff is too crazy, right? Transcendent Million Ds. I think that's more fitting towards me, I'd say, because Transcendent Melee, you have that crazy buff passive, right? Jericho, the best PvE stage farmer. I think she deserves her own tier a little bit. Like, even though right now, for me, she's a little bit underleveled in terms of, she's not too far off. Like, right now, if I go through my actual Nightmare stages, she is Owen, about after Escalade, you can see right there. And in damage-wise, she does like the 4th, 5th best in the team. Obviously, Escanor gets above him. Pitchback Melee gets above him too. And then also Merlin does creep up a little bit too. But this is because she's a little lower dupe level. Her accuracy is not going through a little bit, but she's insane for this one. Still, do I want to move her up? Like, you can see, like, look at these 5 characters. These are all, like, the best characters in the game. And I feel like you just need them all. And she's doing that at lower dupe levels, right? Do I want to put this Melee up here? Probably. I think a lot of people agree he's actually insane. Because I do feel like we have to start distinguishing some of these characters here. Because I don't feel like they just have to be in the same tier. But it does devalue. Okay, you know, let me know what you think. We're changing things up for this tier list, right? First anniversary, going big. Then we get towards Gloxin. You know, Gloxin is actually crazy. But where does he deserve to go, though? So, when he crits, he does like no damage, but he gets the immunity for 3 seconds, so he can't take any damage. It's literally 0. It's a bit different towards the other Melee, because Melee's 1 damage, but he's 0. Not that makes much of a difference, right? I guess it might a little bit. Because that means if someone doesn't do a hit, it does 0. So is it a successful attack? I actually wonder how that interaction works a little bit. But yeah, I feel like right now in the S tier is probably kind of fine. Once again, right now, I think the strategy when it comes towards tank characters is definitely towards like this area here. Because yeah, the fixed damage is good. You're not going to get any damage. But immortality is arguably better because then you can still take damage and then still take the reflect damage. And you can still get like a high score on other contents. If you don't crit, then your character literally just doesn't work. So when you're on PvP, you do find people slightly higher than you. There's no way you're going to get value for the character if he doesn't crit. So at that point, you just bring in someone like he has immortality. He's a bit better. But his damage is crazy though. Like I do think when people start duping out like crazy levels, he could be insane. But there's a gimmick with the character. He either works or he doesn't work. And then once again, in high school challenges, he's not gonna, because when they do 0 damage towards you, you can't reflect 0 damage back. So I think at that point, Dere, like there's cons and pros towards both the characters. Monspeed though, I almost want to put him up here. You know, like I'm actually surprised and I really do like him. So his ultimate is enemies hit with his ultimate have their cooldowns increased by 2 seconds, and then you decrease your cooldown by 2 seconds. Kind of basically what the OG Gopher did, but obviously much better. Target support characters, so it goes for them, even though I think it hits everyone anyways. A big meter radius is insane for PvP when it comes to like actually like stalling. Even towards boss fights, you're immune to silence, immune to stuns as well. And then I think the best part, and these debuffs too, I think the best part in a sense is it's not restricted towards the commandment team, which is perfect. And it restores energy guaranteed. Like it's such a massive upgrade from the actual other Monspeed. I don't know if I want to put it up in the SS or the godly characters just yet, because he's not like breaking the game like how these characters all kind of like, yo, these are insane. And the final character is Draw. Probably going to go to the SS as well. He is literally just a new Lilia. Like, that's as simple as that, right? A better Lilia, obviously, because he does obviously decrease cooldowns. But unlike the Monspeed, is only for commandment teams. But I did see when I tested him out, I'm like, yo, he feels so much better. I feel like he was like one of the final things the commandment team needed, in a sense, to actually feel like a coherent team. But he's It's still missing the salt melee, obviously, but it feels much better. You get the patience, you get some busts to the commandment teams, you can petrify a little bit as well. It's okay. Does get a little bit of attack as well, so pretty good for single target content, because that means he's going to get some pretty good attack. He's going to get attack speed, so he can petrify even more. And he's increasing the 10 commandments normal damage, which is literally what the Lilia did. So you can pop up with your Zeldris. He's also doing some pretty good damage himself. Literally, yeah, it's just power grip Lilia. Like, I just don't know why you would use this character. All right, guys, it's going to wrap up the video. We've just made a few little changes. I moved down Valenti to the S tier. I feel like it's, like, she's only just doing AoE damage. It's that simple, right? Like, we have, obviously, King. We have Escanor. I guess, in a sense, you can actually use Transcendent Meteoris in the Tower Trials, which gives them to, specifically, the attack buff, which she doesn't actually get. So, I feel like she's only using more Tower Trials. Why would you use it anywhere else? Maybe some Natter boss if you can't, like, Acid, so you can kind of move her up a little bit. But I think, you know what, for now, we'll put in the S tier. Let me know what you'll think. Because right now, if you look at the S tier, like, if I'm deep in it, right? I'm thinking, okay, what character do I use? I literally only use people in the 1, Godly, and SS. Anyone below, haven't used in a minute now. Unless, once again, it's specific for Tower Trials, where I have to bring maybe a healer. I have to bring the only green healer I have, right? Or I have to bring Diane in, like, Tower Night bosses. But yeah, literally everyone in here I still use. Let me know what you think of, like I did say, the 2 additional tiers with the 1 in Godly. I do feel like we have to separate, you know, the SS was getting too crowded. I moved Jericho down as well. You can maybe even argue moving on Gofar, because I feel like right now you'd probably just rather use the Monspeed. But I guess he still has some damage and he's a Sin character, so he gets some buffs a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the tier list. I know a lot of people are probably thinking Purg Melee. I'm backing it a little bit. Purg Melee's fallen off, at least in PvP. Like, I think he's actually unusable in PvP in like some situations where like, I'm like raw. Sometimes he just does new damage. And I've noticed as well that even in like one situation I did recently, I think it was just a boss fight. My Barn did more damage than Pitchback Melee because he just dies so quick. He's got like no stats. He just gets nuked. But still, even right now, like, guys, everyone's going to max deep. Everyone's going towards True Awakening plus 40. And he's still doing some of the best DPS in his boss fight, even though I'm kind of losing. Pitch Black Melee will still do the most. The one that's going to creeping up, he's getting there. But once I think, granted, he's at the end of the ultimate rotation. But you can see he's still putting the work, right? He's still one of the best characters to bring in the game. Like, I do not want to downplay him, right? Like, I do think S could have replaced him in most contents, but still deserves his spot. So, guys, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any changes. You know what? I have to move him up, don't I? Yeah. He's still a Sin character. He still gets buffed. I think if you're a Sin, a DPS Sin at least, you automatically get in the S tier because you just get that free buff here. All right, now we're going to wrap up the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and yeah.